No, this is how woo. Watching that Solo Leveling. Well, this is like a narration and shit. But I gotta bring this joint close. So this is on my laptop. This is the Colburn Bible. I'm a, um I'm gonna bring it close. And hold on, let me adjust my chair. Hold on, y'all. Adjust my chair. Bed all crazy. Oh yeah, my fault, y'all. I had to grab my little homie because my dog ran towards the step like somebody was trying to turn on my knob or something. So, I had to grab Roscoe, make sure anything. I mean, I'm gonna put y'all down with something I'm doing too, cause I had just got this crazy this rifle, and I'm about to make a like a panel where, let's say, somebody try a home invasion. So my little man right here, that little guy right there, he gonna walk him back down them steps, right? I told y'all my son's in the military, so my son's be like, showing me tactical shit. So they tell you with a small arm, walk him down, get him down them steps, like you know what I mean. And then with my fish tank run along the wall, cause it's a wall there. When you come down the steps, when you come up, you see nothing but fish. I'm making a panel there that with a magnet touch. But I got those pods, those um, the sound pods, the little joints you put on the wall to stop the sound. I forgot the name of them. So I made this like little panel where you hit it. It's magnet lock though. You hit the magnet, hit the joint, unlock it, and I can grab the rifle that my son just modified and stuff for me. So I got that John. So he said we get them back back out the house, then if they still try or if they ain't gone, then that's when you just destroy them. He said because you should be out of the 17 or whatever whatever your handgun carry. You can switch to a larger arm or whatever. So yeah, yeah, we've been working on some stuff. We're trying to get this double action eight this pump that take eight slugs or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, you gotta have some home defense, yo. I told you I got katana sword, I got crossbow, I got bow and arrow. Y'all probably see my bow and arrow. It's on the wall. But I ordered another bow and arrow, and I'm about to order like 60 arrows. Like and I got two quivers already, so I'm not playing. When the bullets run out, I'm gonna slice you up. I'm not playing. All right, y'all. So this is the Book of Creation, right? Now, again, I'm not gonna sit here and try to read this through this phone because it's a lot. So I'm gonna start reading. I'll take a breather and then I'll start reading some more because it's a lot. Because the birth of man is always at the bottom, but I want to, get everything. Give you the whole thing. So I might just let y'all watch the movie while I'm reading, if I can hold it still while I'm doing this. All right, so this is the Coben Bible. This is the Book of Creation, chapter 1, verse 1. Mortal knowledge is circumscribed by mortal ignorance, and mortal comprehension is circumscribed by spiritual reality. It is unwise for mortal man to attempt the understanding of that which is beyond his conception. For there lies the road to disbelief and madness. Yet man is man, and ever fated to reach out beyond himself, striving to obtain things which always just elude his grasp. So in his frustration, he replaces the dimly seen uncomprehensible with things within his own understanding. If these things but poorly reflect reality, then it is not not the reflection of reality, distorted though it may be, of of greater value than no reflection at all. 2. There are no true beginnings on earth. Listen to this. There are no true beginnings on earth. For here all is effort, the ultimate cause of being elsewhere. For who among men can say which came first, the seed or the plant? Yet in truth it is neither. For something neither seed nor plant proceedeth both, and that thing was also preceded by something else. Always there are ancestors back to the beginning, and back beyond that there is only God. This then is how these things were told in the great book of the sons of fire. That's actually talking about us, but okay. Before the beginning, there was only one consciousness, that of the Eternal One, whose nature cannot be expressed in words. It was the one soul spirit, the self generator, which cannot diminish, the unknown, unknowable, one brooding, solitary, in profound, pregnant silence. The name which is uttered cannot be that of this great being, who remaining nameless is the beginning and the end, beyond time, beyond the reach of mortals, and we in our simplicity call it God. He who preceded all existed alone in his strange abode of uncreated light, which remains ever unextinguishable, and no understandable eye can ever behold it. The pulsating draughts of the eternal light in his keeping were not yet loosed. He knew himself alone. He was uncontrasted, unable to manifest in nothingness. For all within his being was unexpressed potential. The great circles of eternity were yet to be spun out, to be thrown forth as the endless age of existence in substance. They were to begin with God and return to him completed in infinite variety and expressive. Earth was not yet in existence. There were no winds with the sky above them. High mountains were not raised, nor was there the great river in its place. It was formless, without movement, calm, silent, void, and dark. No name had been named, and no destinies foreshadowed. Destinies, that's a disdain. No destinies foreshadowed. Now listen. Now, if you think about the Bible, it says what? In the beginning, there was what? There was nothing, right? It was quiet. It was dark. It was nothing. It just said it. Formless, without movement, calm, silent, void, and dark. Boom. Precept, right? See? Eternal rest is intolerable, and unmanifested potential is frustration. Into the solitude of timelessness came divine loneliness, and from this arose the desire to create, that he might know and express himself, and this generated the love of God. He took thought and brought into being within himself the universal womb of creation, containing the everlasting essence of slumbering spirit. The essence was quickened by a ripple from the mind of God, and the creative thought was projected. This generated power, which produced light, and this formed a substance like unto the mist of invisible dust. It divided into two forms of energy through being impregnated with the Spirit of God and quickening the chaos of the void within the universal womb be, became spun out into whirlpools of substance. From this activity, as sparks from a fire, came the infinite variety of spirit minds, each having creative powers within itself. Hold on, let me go up. The activating word was spoken. It echoes, vibrates still, and there was a stirring movement. Listen, the activating word was spoken. Ain't nobody jump out his fucking mouth. And your Jesus shit. Sorry. The activating word was spoken. It echoes, vibrate still, and there was a stirring movement. That vibrate is very important, which caused instability. A command was given, and this became the everlasting law. Henceforth, activity was controlled in harmonious rhythm. Rhythm, see? Vibration, rhythm. And the initial inertia was overcome. The law divided the materializing chaos from God and then established the boundaries of the eternal spheres. So those are the circles, the planes of creation, right? The 10 spheres of creation, they say, or 7 spheres, or whatever. Time no longer slept on the bosom of God, for now there was change, where before all had been unchanging. And change is time. Now, within the universal womb was heat, substance, and life, and encompassing it was the word, which is the law. Bam. Very important word right there. The command was given, let the smallest things form the greatest, and that which lives but a flash form everlastingness. Thus the universe came into being as a condensation of God's thought, and as it did so, it obscured him from all, enclosed within his solifying creation. Henceforth, God was hidden, for he has always remained dimly reflected in his creation. He became veiled from all that came forth from him. Creation does not explain itself. Under the law, it cannot do so. Its secrets have to be unraveled by the created. You got to seek it out. All things are by nature infinite. They have a beginning, a middle, and a end. An unaccomplishable purpose would be eternal frustration, and therefore, the universe being created purposefully, it must have an objective. If it ended without anything else following, then the God existing must slumber, indefinite, to its activities. No, it's indifferent. I'm sorry. I'm making up words. You see, indifferent to its activities. But he has made it a living work of greatness, operating under the changeless law. Changeless law. That means that law don't change. That means you don't add, you don't take away, and all that bullshit. The law is the law. The creating word had been spoken. Now, there was another command, and the power going forth smote the sun, so that its face was lit, and it shone with a great radiance, pouring warmth and light upon its sister earth. Henceforth she would live within the protection of her brother's household, rejoicing in his benevolence and strength. The waters upon the bosom of the earth were gathered together, and dry land appeared. When the covering of water was rolled back, the body of the earth was unstable, damp, and yielding. The face of the sun shone down kindly upon his sister, and the dry land of her body became very hard. It's telling you the earth is a living being. Humidity and dampness were taken away. He gave her a garment of fleece and a veil of fine linen, that she might clothe her body with modesty. For the great wound had spun the spirit of life, and it was rampant in the heavens. It gazed upon the earth and saw her fairness, was filled with desire, and came out of the heavenly spaces to possess her. It came not peacefully as a lover, but tempestuously as a ravager. Its breath howled along her corridors and raged among her mountaintops, but it did not discover the dwelling place of her spirit. She had withdrawn as a woman withdraw before force, for modesty must be outraged in submission. Yet she desired its embrace, for among all the radiant company she was honored. The sun saw her perplexity, and her wrestled, and he wrestled with the spirit of life and overcame it. When it was subdued and the primal struggle had ceased, it was delivered by the sun to his sister. It was chastened and quickened, and in silence brooded over the earth's water. She was stirred in response. Mud eggs of life potential were formed in swamps at the meeting places of the land and two waters. The sun gave quickening heat, and life crawled forth upon the bosom of the earth. The land dust brought forth the male, and the dark water mist the female, and they united and multiplied. The first brought forth the second, and the second. Oh wait a minute, and the second, and the two produced the third. Earth was no longer a virgin, and the spirit of life grew old and departed. Earth was left garbed in the matron's mantle of green. Herbage covered the face of the land. The waters brought forth fish and creatures which move about and twist themselves and wiggle in the waters. Listen, the serpents and the beasts of terrible aspect, which were of yore, and reptiles which creep and crawl. They were tall, walking things, and dragons in hideous form, clothed with terror, whose great bones may still be seen. Yeah. Okay. Then came forth from the womb of the earth all the beasts of the field and forest, all the creatures of creation having blood in their bodies, and it was complete. Beasts roamed the dry land, and fishes swam the seas. There were birds in the skies, and worms within the soil. There were great land masses, and high mountains, wide, barren places, and heaving waters, fertile greenness that covered the land, and abundant life swarmed in the seas. For now earth throbbed with the energy of life. Metals lay hidden in her rocks, and precious stones within her soil. Gold and silver was scattered and secreted. There was copper for tools, and forests of timber. There were swamps of reeds and stones of every purpose. Everything was prepared, everything was ready, and now the earth awaited the coming of man, the birth of man. The love of God penetrated the third veil and became the seed of souls within the soul sea. The body of man God made of water and things of the earth, breathing into him the spirit of life, that he might live. But man, when young, lived only to eat and drink and fornicate, for being conscious only of the earth, he knew only earthly things and earthly ways. Now the Spirit of God moved over the face of the earth, but was not of the earth. It held all things and was in all things, but on earth could not be a part of anything, be apart from anything, without substance. It was awake, but entering substance, it slept. Consider that which was told by the servants of Eben, of the heaven man, who once wandered the earth. He had no earthly substance and could not grasp its fruits, for he had no hands. He could not drink its waters, for he had no mouth. Nor could he feel the cool winds upon his skin. They tell how the eight tribes, Salak, led by the heaven man, perished by flames before the valley of Lod. Only one she-ape reaching the cave heights above. When the heaven man was reborn of the she-ape, when the heaven man was reborn of the she-ape in the cavern of woe, could he taste the fruits of the earth and drink of the waters and feel the coolness of the winds? Did he not find life good? It is not all a tale of the courtyard. Man created from earthly substance alone could not know things not of the earth, nor could spirit alone subdue him. Had man not been created, he would have known God's wisdom and power. As the spirit fills the body of man, so does God fill his creation. Therefore, if was that God saw something had to be which joined earth and spirit, and was both. In his wisdom and by the creative impulse which governs the earth, he prepared a body for man, for the body of man was wholly of the earth. Behold, the great day came when the Spirit, which is God, was joined with the beast, which is the earth. Then earth raved in the labor of travail. Her mountains rocked back and forth, and her seas heaved up and down. Earth groaned in her lands and shrieked in her winds. She cried in the rivers and wept in her storms. Now listen. So remember, he said he made one man created from water and earthly things. And it said that that's all that man was about was earthly things. Now it's talking about another man that he was creating, but he kind of, I guess, he joined himself with the earth, right? The the Great Spirit, right? And now the earth is literally forming man inside of it. Watch, I'm about to read it to you. So man was born of upheaval and strife. He came wretchedly and tumultuously, the offspring of the distraught earth. All was in discord. Snow fell in the hot wastelands. Ice covered the fertile plains. The forest became seas. Where once it was hot, now it was cold. And where no rain had ever fallen, now there were floods. So man came forth, the child of calamity, man, the inheritor of the creative struggle, man, the battleground of extremes. Now listen, earth nurtured man with a cautious affliction, weaning him in the recesses of her body. Then, when he was grown sufficiently, see, that's what I'm talking about. When he was grown sufficiently to be lifted, so he walked in his uprightness of God. Let me make sure. When he's grown sufficiently to be lifted, so he walked in the uprightness of God. She took him and raised him above all other creatures. She laid him even into the presence of God. She led him. I'm sorry. She led him even into the presence of God, and she laid him on his great altar. A man, a man imperfect of earthly limitations, a thing unfinished, ungainly, unlearned, but proudly was he presented to earth's creator. Not her firstborn was man, the son of the earth, the grandchild of God, man, the heir of tribulation, the pupil of affliction. I tell you right there that he wasn't the firstborn. See that? I told y'all. This is even proven that they were to create. He created people before, and now this is actually us, the red man. This is the people what they call the sons of fire. We're the sons of fire because our skin look like it's on fire. So this is going to show you where the earth formed us in her womb. That's why I say he took us and formed us from the dust of the ground. This is what it's talking about. The earth formed us, right? That's why I try not to go too far in that because it's a masculine and it's a feminine. They work together, right? And now it's going to tell you what the creator did, right? God saw man, the second one, our people. There were other people created. The offering of the earth to her Lord, unconscious, on the high altar, a sacrifice to him, and a dedication to the spirit of faith. Then from out of the unfathomable heights and from beyond the impenetrable veil that they've been trying to get the fuck out of, excuse my French, God came down above the altar and he breathed into man the breath of eternal life. The first man, he breathed the spirit of life. The second man, he breathed into him. He breathed into man the breath of eternal life. This is why they hate us. This is why. Into his sleeping body, God implanted a fragment of himself, the seed of a soul, and the spark of divinity. And the man, the mortal became man, the heir of God, and the inheritor of immortality. Henceforth, henceforth, he would have dominion over God's earthly estate. But he also had to unravel the circles of eternity, and his destiny was to be an everlasting seeking and striving. Man slept, but God opened the great eye within him. What fucking eye you think you talking about? And man saw a vision of unsurpassed glory. He heard the voice of God saying, O man, in your hand is now placed the tablet of your inheritance, and my seal is upon it. Know that all you desire within your heart may be yours, but first it is necessary that you be taught its value. Behold, the earth is filled with the things of usefulness. They are prepared to your hand for a purpose, but the task is upon you to seek them out and learn their use. This is the tuition for the management of your inheritance. Uh huh. What you know to be good, seek for, and it shall be found. You may plumb the seas and pluck the stars. You may live in everlasting glory and save your eternal delights. Above and below, and all about there is nothing beyond your reach. All, with one exception, is yours to attain. Then God laid his hand upon man, saying, Now you are even as I accept you. Sleep there, enclosed in matter, and in the kingdom of illusion, while I dwell here in the freedom of reality and truth. And it is not for me to come down to you, but for you to reach out to me. Our unborn friends, whatever circumstances of life, you are the children of the past and the heirs of those who have lived and died. We trust you have no cause to reproach those who once held stewardship over your estate. But whatsoever you think of your heritage, you cannot put it aside any more. Then you can refuse that man then saw a vision of glory, encompassing even the spheres of splendor. Abounded wisdom filled his heart, and he beheld beauty and perfection. The ultimates of truth and justice were unveiled before him. He became one with the profound peace of eternity, and he knew the joys of unceasing gladness. All right, who was given the promise? Now listen, this is what I'm explaining to y'all, right? This was Adam, right? Adam fucked up, right? Whatever he did, right? This is why I keep telling y'all, Cain and Abel was not Adam's kids. They were the other Adam. That's what Eve did, right? That's why when you read the generations of Adam, you don't our Adam, you don't see Cain and Abel. You see Seth. And if you notice something, from Adam's loin came Seth, and on from Seth, all the people of the promise, all the way down to Abraham, from Abraham all the way to us now. It was a lineage. It was a lineage. They have tricked us and got us thinking that Cain and Abel are of us. They're not of us. They're not. That's why he said, I created Adams. They. And to be honest with you, right, I think I made a mistake because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think there was another Eve too. I think what they did was they took the story of both the creations and put them together and tried to make it like it was one person. You know what I'm saying? You got to be mindful. Like these people are slick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful, y'all. And it's like, okay, because like if you think about it, right? Every time you read the generations of somebody in the scriptures, it tell you from the first child they had all the way up. Why is it not naming Cain and Abel for our Adam? But it clearly tell you, and y'all heard me read it to you, that there was more than one Adam made. Because I clearly read it to you. And then I just read it to you again. There was one Adam that was just given a spirit of life, and then there's another Adam that was given what? The spirit of immortality. This is why they hate your ass. Because you got one people that have a spirit, right? They do have a spirit. They're living. But then you have another people that was literally given the estate of the earth. And they know it's us. Why do you think they spend so much money to keep us dumb? To make sure we don't know nothing. Why do you think they do what they do? You really think that they spend all the time and all the shit they've been doing just because they don't like what we look like? Well, they like what the other people look like. They don't have a problem with the East Indians. They brown. They don't. They get them with anything. They don't have a problem with anybody else that's brown. So it ain't your fucking color. It's who you are. And that's what the Creator talking about when he says that they will hate you for his name's sake. They will hate you because you're called by his name. They tell you that all through the Torah. Those who are called by my name. Who the fuck? All right. Who do you know that's called by somebody's name? Only person that's called by somebody's name is the son of that person. So if they ask me, call those that are called by your name, Mr. Robinson, I'ma call my sons. I'm not gonna call a stranger. You see what I'm saying? That's what he's talking about. He made people and put a spirit in them. They have a spirit. But then he made other people that he gave the inheritance of the earth to. He created the earth for their sake. And that's what Esdras is talking about in 2nd